Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Ampersand podcast with Aubri Oshae. This is the place where two things are true at the same time. We examine the ampersands in every life situation and every circumstance. I think I said that right because, baby, it's been about a week since I have been in you all's company. Because when I tell you life has been lifing, baby, life has been plucking me in the back of my damn head. Baby, I don't know. And the plug turned into a straight up punch in the back of the head, baby. Because I'm just like, what is going on? These niggas is nigging, and these women is getting ignorant. And it's just so much. It's so much. That in work, too. Baby, I just don't even want to. I almost. Lord. If it wasn't for the 5 of y'all subscribers, baby, and y'all know I'm trying to get to 10 by the end of the year. If it wasn't for y'all, I probably would be in my bed curled up, just slobbing into my pillow because I'm so tired. Okay, but let's get into my little life. So you're like, Aubrey, what the hell you been going through, man? Well, while I have been going through these things, I have been documenting them so I can remember them when it's time to talk to y'all. Because I will easily forget, or I'll mismatch shit and forget that it happened. When I look back on this message, it's crazy that all of this shit happened. I think in like a week or two since I recorded the last Ampersand episode. It's crazy. But let's start chronologically, and we're gonna go with the first man on the docket, and we gonna call this nigga Buckaroo, a Buccaneer. Bitch, they're gonna be interchangeable. Because when I tell you this boy has some big old teeth in his mouth, baby, I don't even want to talk about the man too bad. But have you ever seen the door of a washing machine or of a dryer? Baby, he had about 24 of them things stacked up in his mouth. And he thought he was just God's gift to mankind. And I just cannot stand a nigga that you meet that just thinks they so fun. Am I the only person that gets turned off from somebody thinking that they're just so beautiful? And you know what's even wilder? Sometimes if somebody is too attractive, in my opinion, I'm not turned on by them. Or I feel like they're attractive, but I'm not attracted. For some reason, my dick will not work. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's like a performance anxiety because they're just too good looking. I don't know. But it's always been a thing for me. If I ever talk to somebody that's super good looking, super gorgeous, it's really just a notch on my belt type situation. Because when I meet these people, they often are very vapid and they're not fun to be around. And I hate that it's like that because you would expect really attractive people to be very attractive personally and personality wise, but that is so not true. And it's so unfortunate. I like middle of the road looking people, and I really can. The people that I think are good looking are sometimes, I guess, in other people's eyes, very basic. But I really find beauty in just kind of middle of the road people. Like, the super gorgeous people are just kind of like, I don't know. And then here's another thing too, y'all. When you get with these fine ass folks, baby, the sex be whack. Okay? Baby, it's like walking down the hallway. Baby, it is whack. And I'm just like, what is going on here? It be them medium ugly motherfuckers. Baby, woo. Baby, they got the best head, baby, and the best ass for days. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in the water, but something. I tell you, give me a medium ugly motherfucker over a beautiful nigga any day. Baby, I be in hog heaven, okay? Let me get back to buckaroos, or buccaneers. So I met this man on a dating app. Let me move my chair right quick because it's making so much noise. I feel like I'm rocking back in the chair. God damn. Sound like I'm swinging on a pine tree. All that noise going on with this little chair. Let me get back to the story of buckaroos. So, I met him on a dating app, Jacked. We're just gonna keep it a buck. And my black ass wasn't supposed to be on that no way, okay? Because it's really ratchet on Jack, to be totally honest. So, I met him. We conversed a little bit. I feel like I've seen him before somewhere, and but we just talked. He was cool. I didn't think he was ugly from the pictures. He looked kind of like a fuck boy almost, but I was like, he's cool. I'll just talk to him. So we talked, and he was like, we kind of talked about meeting up, but he kind of like disappeared or something like that. So we never did it. And then the next day we talked and whatnot. And to make a long story short, we ended up planning a date to meet up. And that was like later in the evening on like a Thursday or some shit like that. Do y'all want the quick version or do you want like the journey through? Y'all want the journey through? So I'm gonna give it to y'all the journey through, and I'm gonna still kind of make it quick because y'all know I'm not that good at telling stories. Okay, I think it's the ADD. Okay, Aubrey, stay on track. So that Thursday, I had a very long day at work. I really was not even in a mood to meet him because I felt like he was gonna be on some fuck shit. I just don't know. I just get this sense about people, and I was like, I ain't trying to really waste my time because I had already been through a few people and I was just like, this year, I ain't trying to really fucking date nobody. Like, these niggas are trash and I just want to focus on what I got going on in my personal life. But the thing is, he texted me, he was like, said something to the effect of, oh, I guess we aren't meeting or something like that. I was like, no, I just got home. I'm just trying to get something to eat. We are definitely going to meet. So that's just showing y'all that he was showing interest in me. Okay? So pardon me. So I go that night to his place. Now he lives in like these duplexes, and I have this thing about neighborhoods where the blinds are all fucked up. I don't move into apartment complexes because I'm finna move, y'all. If I go to see an apartment complex and the blinds are all jacked up in the windows and stuff, I said, nope, this ain't the place for me. Because that shows you that it's some rowdiness going on up and through. If I see a lot of trash on the ground, baby, I ain't coming. And needless to say, that's kind of what his neighborhood was giving. And I said, where am I? What in the Escobar? Like, where am it? I thought I was in Trabajo, Mexico. I said, what is going on? And so I'm just like, okay. And I'm not going to be classist and egregious. Shout out to girlfriends. I'm not going to be that. So I said, where's your house? So I texted him and stuff like that. I pulled up. He came out. I was like, cool, dope. And he's actually, I thought he would be bigger in person, like weight wise. But I actually kind of liked his build. He was kind of like in shape a little bit. I said, okay, I'll give you a little bit of that. And he had a do-rag on. Now, I'm bringing this up because in the car, before I like texted him that I was there, when I drove up, I had my do-rag on and I made a conscious decision to take it off. Because men actually wear do-rags as a form of hair maintenance and also as a form of looking more presentable. Because sometimes we guys can be in the middle of a haircut, like on the road to needing one, and it's a little scraggly, a little scruffy. So we'll just plop on a little do-rag or a hat, kind of like y'all ladies like plop on a wig. You know, if the hair ain't doing what the hair's supposed to do, baby, let me just go and cut it up. But I made a conscious decision. I said, you know what? He's just gonna have to accept me the way I am because it was already late. I was already dressed in chill clothes. I'm like, I'm just gonna show up like that, and I might put my do rag on later. I don't fucking know, because I don't want to be pretentious or set up any type of. I just want to come in real, okay, real shit. So I made that effort. I made that decision. But when I got out the car and he saw me, there you can kind of instantly tell when somebody kind of really may not be into you like that. And I was just like, and then I came out and saw him with his do-rag, and I was like, fuck, I could have worn my damn do-rag. God damn it. Like, trying to be real and stuff. And granted, I want y'all to know that I was curious about him, but I was not so much interested in him because I forgot to tell y'all, before this meeting, we had an extensive conversation on the phone. We've actually had conversations on the phone, and the way these conversations went, they were very boring. The guy is from a state that does not have the highest educational merits, okay? We just gonna say the South, someplace, some state in the South, baby. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't trying to offend nobody. But when I meet Negroes from this part of the world, they kind of slow. They don't have too much to talk about. And one thing that turns me on is a good conversation. I love intellect. I love somebody that can really show me a different side of the world, or at least make me goddamn laugh. He couldn't do neither one of them motherfucking things and wanted to stay on the phone. My thing is, I didn't want to give him too much of my time. I didn't want to be too accessible because I know that oftentimes men, they run away from accessibility in a way sometimes. So the further away you get, the more they'll lean in. And subconsciously, I know these things. So I was just kind of like, well, I'm finna get off the phone with you. And I wasn't even enjoying the conversations, no way. So the last conversation that we really had before Thursday meeting was talking about relationships and boundaries. And he was like, I'm a guy that I will get up in the morning and cook you breakfast and stuff like that. And I believe in reciprocity and I believe in this. And I was like, okay, dope. Was it really a conversation or was it like a monologue? It was more a monologue, okay, on his end. But I was all here for it. It's good to actually get a real conversation out of you because these men are just so, they're vapid. They're like sheetrock, man. I'm telling you, it's hard to find a smart guy that isn't an asshole. I promise you that it. But let's get back to Thursday. Jesus. Y'all bear with me. So I get out the car, I see him, and I'm just like, okay, his energy kind of shifted. I was like, okay, cool. So we get in the house, and I had my backpack with me because I carry my backpack along with me. And he's like, what you got that backpack for? I said, oh, nothing. I just carry it with me and stuff. I wonder if he thought I was going to try to spend a night, but no, I just carry my shit with me, my wallet, a book or something, anything. So we go to his back room, and he lays on his bed, and he has like a little room. The dresser is on like one side of the room, and there's a TV on there, and the window is on the other side, and the bed is like in the middle. The end of the bed is facing like the doorway, just to give y'all like a viewpoint of what this room looks like. He got like a little nightstand on the side of his bed, and there's like fans in there, like box fans. It's giving real. It's hard out here for a pimp. And he had this movie playing on television with Terrence Howard, Viola Davis, and these white men. One of them played Wolverine, and they were trying to find somebody's daughter or some bullshit like that. I was like, I ain't never seen this movie a day in my life. So boom, that sets the scene for y'all coming into this room. So he comes into the room. He gets on one side of the bed, and his body is like really slanted away from me on this bed, and his leg is kind of leaning off the other side. And I come in, I go to the other side, closer to the window, and I just kind of put my bag on the floor and like kind of take my jacket off because it was a little warm in there. And there's nothing, no, hey, how are you, or something like that. And I think I initiated like, hey, it's good to see you. Can I have like give me a little hug or something like that? And we kind of gave a hug, but it was just like, it was like he saw me. And he was like, damn, this nigga ain't cute like I thought he was gonna be cute. Or damn, this nigga look, I ain't really into this shit. And here's my thing. I do not care if I meet somebody for the first time like that, in that way, and I'm not physically attracted to them. I will not, my energy will not shift towards them to where I ice them out and I just do not show them any type of attention. Or I go cold and really become a stone and shift my whole energy, because that's what happened. And so we were sitting on his bed and we were kind of watching TV. He was on his phone. I'm like, nigga, what? And so I started getting upset because I'm thinking like, why am I over here? Because granted, remember I told y'all, I really wasn't trying to come over there anyway because I was already had a long day. I was actually, honestly, very sleepy. And I really wanted to stay in my fucking bed because I wasn't pressed to come over by Buckaroo's fucking house. I really was not. I just wanted to honor my word and I didn't want to be flaky. You feel me? So he's sitting on his bed kind of going through his phone and we're kind of making like light conversation about this movie. And it's kind of very just awkward. Now keep in mind, earlier, like days before this, he told me that he was kind of shy and that people think he's out here in these streets. And he's told me also several times on the phone, oh yeah, man, people really be in my DMs. Like, they be blowing my DMs up. And I'll be like, okay, like, why ain't you with nobody? And then he started talking about an ex that he was with and just, look, just all of these things, I guess trying to send me subtle hints that he's valuable or something like that. So I'm just like, okay. So he's on his phone. I don't know who he talking to on his phone or whatnot, but there's no conversation happening. Nothing. And I'm sending out prompts or like little points that we can talk about. No engagement. Literally none. Shut the fuck down, okay? And I'm just like, if you don't think that somebody is attractive, why do y'all shut down like that? What the fuck is that about? So many men are just motivated by sex that they don't open their eyes to anything else, because I promise you, if I came in there a whole 10 to him, oh, it would have been, what's your name, what's your number, what's your sign, baby? Do you like Beyonce? Do you like Solange? What's going on? Like, it would have been all of that shit. But he was already slow, y'all. I done told y'all that. So I really wasn't too, I was like, maybe he just a little slow. So he ends up actually taking a motherfucking phone call while I'm like sitting on his bed, and I'm here for all of like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. And he takes this phone call, and he starts talking to his friend, and I'm thinking like, do I want to sit through this? Or do I want, and like maybe hope that maybe we kind of get cooler, or he opens up, or do I want to leave? And this Aubrey in these days, baby, in my 30s, honey, baby, I'm getting the fuck up, baby. I'm getting in the wind, baby. I am leaving. And I admonish y'all to do the fucking same. If you are in a situation to where you are disrespected, leave the premises. Baby, I got my goddamn North Face jacket, baby. I'll put that bitch on. And he was like, "Oh, is it hot? Is it cold in here?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm leaving." He was like, "What's going on?" He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna call you back later." I'm gonna call you to his friend. I was like, "First of all, this is very rude." I said, "You're being very rude, and this is really offensive that you're taking a phone call while we're here. We're supposed to be getting to know each other and supposed to be talking with each other, having dialogue." And he just was evasive. He could not make eye contact. Let me tell y'all too. This nigga 37 years old. This nigga about 37, 38. Acting like a toddler in this bed. Do you feel me? With these big old buckaroos in his mouth. Because he think he's so cute. Like, just because you light skinned, you bald headed, and you got big buck. I don't give a fuck. Brother, like, I was not pressed. So I'm sitting up there saying, I'm like, buckaroos, buccaneers, look at me. Look at me. And I'm literally like, look at me when I'm talking to you. I said, I could have stayed in my bed, man. You asked me to come over here just so you could just take phone calls and like be disrespectful. I'm not having that. I said, I'm finna go. And he was like, "Oh man, I wasn't trying to do that." I said, "Are you shy?" Like, what? He said, "Yeah, I'm shy." I said, "Oh." And this nigga puts on events. He like hosts like AIDS prevention things and stuff like that, rallies and stuff, field days and shit like that where I'm from. I'm just like, nigga, you can't be that shy. And then when his friends was like, oh, he talked to his friends, he was like, "Oh, I'm finna go to Houston and stuff like that." His friends was like, "Oh, you finna go out there and be a hoe?" He was like, "Man, I ain't no hoe." I said, boing, that's the confirmation that you already hoe, because I can already feel that energy coming from you. Like, boy, sit your ass down somewhere. 37 years old and cannot have and carry on a concise, a conducive, compelling conversation. None of the sort. I got my ass up. He was in a doorway, and I thought he was going to try to, like, petition, like, "Yo, let's reset. Let's, I'm a little, it's a little awkward for me. Like, always meeting somebody first. It's a little strange. Let's just kind of reset. Let's talk." And I would have been like, okay, that's cool. Because at first I was going to tell him, like, before he got this phone call, because he was in his phone, I was like, you know what? Let's just engage a little bit. Like, what do you love to do? What's your name? Like, I knew his name, y'all, but just, conversation. Like, who am I spending my time with? Who the fuck are you? So we go to the door, and I'm in front of him. He's behind me. And as I'm unlocking this door, which kind of was almost hard to do, I was like, not we gonna have an embarrassing ass moment right now with me trying to leave and show my independence. But I unlocked this door, and I told him, I said, "Dude, my time is valuable and my energy is precious, and I don't waste that on nobody." And I said, "I want you to have a good night." And he was like, "Yeah, you right. Your energy is." I left, and baby, up that street, I received a text message talking about, oh, apologize. It wasn't no call. It wasn't even like a heartfelt message attached to that. Nothing of the sort. Baby, I went to my other friend's house. I didn't have time for that bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? I apologize. And then an hour or so after that, I owe you another date. Bitch, you owe me shit. You need to owe your orthodontist a date and get them Buccaneers out your goddamn mouth so maybe you can think straight. I think all that porcelain is getting to your brain, nigga. Like, damn. Like, it's no, sir. No, ma'am. And the weird thing is, like, how you gonna, I don't like feeling played. I know you fucking lying. Like, bitch, no. Baby, I can tap dance on them teeth. And you got the nerve to play me? Boy, you could fold clothes with them teeth. Baby, I ain't got time. Baby, no. Ain't no way in the world. My time, my energy is valuable and is precious. And I made sure that he knew that. And one thing you are not going to have is more than one time to disrespect me and waste my fucking time. You just not going to do that. You not. And I don't know if I ever see from him again. I don't care, honestly. But I know one thing. He going to remember, oh, you can't waste this time. No, the fuck you cannot. I don't care if I'm not your type. Dude. Now, baby, would I have folded you in half? I probably might have. I might have folded you just to see what it was hidden for. Bitch, I don't have time for that. I don't. Like, look, you're not finna waste my time. You're not finna waste my time. Not in 2023. Baby, it won't be me in 2023. No, so that's the story of the 37-year-old buckaroos with bad conversation and bad communication. Baby, ain't nobody got time. Baby, here's another story about a nigga. Ew. Actually, he's from Egypt. Okay, so this guy, oh my lord. Y'all, I met this guy on Tinder recently. And we matched or whatever, and we just kind of hit it off. Energy good and stuff like that. Later found out he's a Leo. I was like, oh, that explains a lot. So I get along well with other fire signs. Y'all guess my sign if you don't know it already. So we gonna call this boy Egypt, since this nigga from Egypt. Okay, and I did my little research before I met him because I'm like, this nigga could really be a serial stalker because his pictures on Tinder were like model status pictures, like very pretty. And I'm always apprehensive about those really pretty dudes because I'm like, I don't trust these pictures. I really got to see you in person. So we set a date to like meet one another and just maybe get a drink or whatnot. So it was like a Tuesday or something like that. I think it might have been a Tuesday. And we ended up setting a date. I ended up getting my hair cut and shit like that because I just want to look presentable because baby, I'm not finna go on a date with no model from LA because that's where he's from. I'm not finna go on no date with a model and be looking raggedy my damn self. Baby, I'm gonna come dressed fresh to impress. Okay? So I came fresh to impress and I really was not pressed to like really endear myself to him because I was just like, it's something that's gonna be shitty about this date. I can feel these things, y'all. I don't know why, but I can. So to make a long story short, we decided to meet in a popular area in my city, like in a downtown area. I'm like, bet I'll be there. Baby, I was late because I left my wallet at home. I had to circle back and go get it, but gag is I was already gonna be late. So he said, oh, I might be going to work. So we may not have that much time. Whoop-de-doo. So I get there, make it to his car. He was like, yo, I'm smoking. What whoop-de-doo. I got some stuff from LA. I said, oh, bet. Like, say less. So I get to the car. And first impression, he kind of looked a little... Bummy isn't the word. He didn't look bummy at all. He just did not look like his pictures. He did not look as gorgeous as he does in his pictures. And that's the problem that I have with a lot of fucking folks. Did he look similar? I don't know. Because he kind of almost looked Puerto Rican, or you can give him like Latino. You really could give him that easily. He's not dark skinned. He's very fair complected, like cashew colored. I don't know. But he was nice. So I got in the car. I would apologize for being late. Whoop-de-doo. And we smoked a little bit. We talked. And he really didn't ask me any questions or anything like that. And y'all know I have a rule. If you ever date a man, you go out with a man, and he does not ask you any probing questions or anything, he does not like you. He don't like you. He's not inquisitive about you. He don't like you. Now, there's a caveat to that because sometimes men listen instead of, probe. So you got to know what kind of guy you're dealing with. But any guy that is interested in you is going to ask you some sort of questions because they want to see how you can fit in to their life. You feel me? If you meet a man, he don't give a damn about how you can fit into his life. He trying to fit into your drawers, if anything. But he ain't trying to fit into your life. He don't give a fuck about you, to be honest. Okay? So he's not really asking too much about my life. I'm doing more of the question asking and stuff like that because I'm a conversationalist. I don't have to like you or be sexually attracted to you to engage. And I don't know why more men aren't bred to engage people that they are not physically attracted to. And I think a lot of women deal with that shit too because a lot of men ignore the quote unquote lesser attractive women in a group of women and focus on the more attractive woman and shun everybody else. I've seen stories like that and it is very unfair and I have experienced that shit as well. I need to make a video of pretty privilege and being the quote unquote lesser attractive friend or family member or peer in a group. That's a real thing among women and really among men. Check it. Okay, so I was asking the questions. He does this, he does that, he does that. He was like, oh, I got to go to work at 9. I was like, I thought you said you really didn't have to go to work, but I guess you're picking up a shift because actually he just moved from LA to where I'm from. And I'm just like, okay, so that may not even work if we ever decided to talk. But I am honestly not sexually attracted to him at all. Not even intellectually or personally attracted to him at all. He just seems like a really cool guy. And we did vibe and we got along, but there was no chemistry there. And sometimes I'm a big flirt. I may not even like you like that, but I kind of low-key want you to like me like that because I like to fucking flirt. And I kind of like that game of everything. So sometimes he would give me some looks and I would kind of give him a little energy back, but it wasn't anything palpable. And it makes me think like that lady on that show on Bravo back in the day. She was like the millionaire matchmaker. Remember her? The dark hair, like Italian, the bangs and stuff like that. She always said the Peter does the picking, which means your penis does the picking when it comes to who you really want to be with. And that's so true. Baby, if I don't feel it in my wee-wee, it ain't for me. You feel me? And that's just the way it be going. But I can still be cool with you. I'm not bred like those other men who ignore the lesser unattractive people. Because there's always something to find out, always something to know. So he said he had to go to work. So I was like, let's get out, let's get a shot or something like that. We said we want to get a drink, whoop-de-doo. So we go to this bar. We take a seat and stuff like that. It's kind of crowded in there, it's bustling and stuff. And we sit down, we decide to get 2 tequila shots, and he wanted 2 chasers. And I'm like, okay, so the lady comes to take our card or to take payment, and I reach for my wallet because, of course, I got you. You don't have to pay, like, it's on me. But he immediately intercepts that, takes her his little wallet, baby, and hands her card. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, because I was like, no, I got, and he was like, here you go. Baby, with confidence. With confidence. I said, okay, get it, daddy. What you trying to do? And I was like, okay, that's a bet by me. And so waiting on the shots, we started kind of, conversing a little bit. Sometimes there would be like some good laughter, and sometimes there would just be, silence. And I'm a person that's okay with just, people watching and just kind of being a little quiet because every moment does not have to be filled up with chatter. Now, that's the antithesis of this podcast because, baby, I've been talking straight for about 30 minutes. But on a day, I don't feel like every moment has to be filled up with incessant talking. So it takes about like 20 minutes pass or something like that, and we still waiting on these shots. And he's kind of getting a little antsy, and 20 minutes may be a stretch. It might have been more close to like maybe 15, whatever. But he's kind of getting like antsy, like, oh, I gotta go to work, whoop de doo, and he's checking his phone. And I think when his friends call him, I said, not somebody else taking another call while you out with somebody. But he took it and it was very short, and he hung up. And I was like, okay, that's respectful, thank you. So he was like, it was getting 9 o'clock had came, and he was like, I got to get to work, and I was like, okay. He said, well, I'm gonna leave and stuff like that, and it was nice meeting you. It wasn't really anything warm, like, oh, it was so nice meeting you. I want to see you again. It would be great. Whoop de doo. Maybe we can chop it up. I was like, okay, that's cool. So he left. We gave a little side hug, and he bounced. And I was like, okay. So like shortly after he left, y'all, pay attention. Shortly after Egypt left, the woman comes back with the shots, and she says, oh, your card has been declined. I said, that what? Your card has been declined. What? The card has been declined. That nigga really gave her a card that didn't have no money on it and insisted that he paid for it and left before the shots even came, but was talking about, oh, I'm just trying to get my shots. I want my shots. I said, I know you motherfucking lying. Baby, I said, so I paid for it. It came out to like $21 or some bullshit like that. And what's weird though is like, how was he able to get his card back and then bounce? Was it like a delayed situation, or did he cancel that shit? Did he cancel it when he left because he wasn't gonna be drinking the 2 shots and he didn't want to be responsible for that shit? Why is this just coming to my brain right now? Because I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't really that upset about the situation because I don't assume the worst right off the bat. I was like, maybe it just got declined. Maybe because I know he just moved out here. Also, I keep forgetting shit, y'all. The boy's a dancer. He's like an exotic dancer. I don't know if he's a stripper, but he's really lean. He doesn't have fat at all on him. But he's an exotic dancer in some type of club or something like that. I was like, okay, maybe he doesn't make enough money or whatever. But I was like, whoa, okay. So I pay for it and I take my 2 shots and I go up the street and I get something to eat. And that was that day. Now I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. My first inclination was like, oh bitch, you getting blocked, bitch. And y'all, honestly, I did actually block his ass. But the thing is, I have an Apple Watch and he texted me and the message came to my Apple Watch and not my phone, because sometimes I guess if you don't mirror your device, block messages will still come through your Apple Watch. So we ended up talking again. And we actually ended up hanging out 2 more times, like at his place, like just watching TV, just shooting shit. And it's actually been very pleasant. But I'm gonna give y'all a lowdown on that. I'm gonna give y'all some information. One of the times that we talked, after that incident, he was like, did my card not go through or something like that? Like, I didn't really, for some reason, I didn't see the charges on my card. And I never told him that his card was declined because I wanted to do that at first. Like, bro, your card was literally declined. I want to text him that after I found out, but I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave the shit alone. I was gonna pay for it anyway. It's no harm, no foul. Now, if this was a big ass dinner, bitch, I'm gonna let you know about it, okay? And I wasn't supposed to pay for it anyway, and you ditched me for the check with the check, baby, no. But I just kind of took it on the chin. I was like, I ain't even gonna bring it up, and I have never brought it up to him since the last 2 times that I've seen him. So the last time that I seen him was like a week or so ago. We have not done anything physical. I'm not attracted to him like that. He's not attracted to me. And but one day I was at his house and I seen him like twerking a little bit. I said, what? And then he started showing me like more suggestive pictures of himself. I'm like, what? And I'm just like, he was making little comments like, oh, it's wet and gushy like me. And I was like, what? And I'm like, are you trying to like throw out a little fisher hook and a hint? Because I don't know, I'm gonna have to try it out. But I don't know, like he's just really not my type. But that's just such a man and a horn dog. Like, you may not be attracted to somebody, but you'll still bone them just to see what it's hitting for. I'm sorry, I'm human. I probably would. But he's just really, he ain't nothing that I would like really. I ain't at the house worried about him and thinking about him 24/7 because I'm like, damn, that's the one that got away. I really am not. To be honest, I'm not. But the last time we hung out, I was like just playing around because we would have a rapport of joking. But I really figured out I don't know anything about this boy, and I really want more substantial relationships, even in my friendships. I think some friendships are meant to just be like, oh, we just kicking it, we just hanging out, whoop de doo. But I really, if I'm gonna spend my time with somebody, I want to spend it with somebody that actually cares about me. Is that wrong? Because I feel like if I'm going to spend my time with somebody that does not care about me, I could go anywhere. Or better yet, I could just be by myself. You feel me? So, y'all, this is going a little long. I told you I was going to make these episodes a little shorter. So, I'm going to make this like a two-parter. And I'm going to give y'all more stories because, baby, I got about three more. I got a few more. So, we going to talk about it. On this episode of the Ampersand, what are two things that can be true? I think that you can be uninterested in somebody romantically and still show them interest as far as like kindness goes, as far as like basic just communication. I really think that is a real thing that can be true because there are a lot of times, like I said, that I may not be interested in somebody romantically or sexually, but I can still show them common courtesy, decency. I can still carry on a conversation and get to know or be curious about their interpersonal lives. And this trait needs to be developed better in men and women if we're going to really be honest, because the women ain't too far ahead of the men, to be honest, because they about as bad as the men. But I'm just gonna leave y'all with that. Like, just be kind to folks, man. Like, don't be a douchebag. And when I tell you, when you sense disrespect or when somebody is playing with your time and playing in your face, what's the word, baby? MOVE. Move. If you ever think about, do I need to stay here a little bit longer or should I just kind of wait? Move. Okay? Because who is for you will be for you and you won't have to guess. And if you are ever dating a man and you are confused or you feel weird, he ain't it. I'm just gonna leave you on that one too. He ain't it. But I got more of those type of tips and things to tell y'all in the next episode. And it has really been fun being back with y'all. And I wish y'all the best. I hope y'all have a good week. And you know what? I'm gonna bring some more content. Like I have an even more Ask Aubreys and stuff like that. I gotta get it to y'all. But man, like hopefully this week is a little less stressful. And I hope y'all week is as well. And if you got any enjoyment out of this episode or any insight or whatever, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And share it with your friends and shit like that. It's going to be more episodes coming. It's not going to be as sporadic. And I promise y'all, I'm going to take care of y'all. I'm going to make sure y'all all right. All right? So, with that being said, this is Aubri Oshae with the Ampersand Podcast, where two things can be true. And I'm gone, y'all, because I'm tired of talking. All right. Bye.